Hey everyone, it's Jay.
And Sean.
And we watched a scary movie. Sean, why don't you tell us what it was called?
You Should Have Left.
You Should Have Left. The very thing we probably all have screamed at the movie screen.
Don't go downstairs.
Yeah. Stay out of the basement. Don't run into the woods.
Yeah.
You should have left.
Basically. And Kevin Bacon should have left.
He should have left. In fact, he should have never arrived.
Also true.
Yeah.
It's a creepy house.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, it's a real vacation house. You could rent it and stay there yourself.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. So this movie is set in Wales, and actually a very nice little bit of Welsh countryside. This house sits atop a little hill, overlooking just beautiful greenery. It is gorgeous, postcard-looking bit of Wales. A small village down below, but a good bit away from the house, which is fairly isolated. But I thought, weirdly, it's a very modern-looking house.
Yes, it is.
So it kind of doesn't feel like it should be there. And yet there it is. So Kevin Bacon, as Sean said, plays this old guy, as Kevin Bacon must play these days.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon, but you're old.
Footloose is long gone.
It is not gone. It is not forgotten.
Not forgotten.
But it was a long time
ago.
Yeah. So he plays this ex-banker who is on his second marriage, a much younger wife played by Amanda Seyfried. And they have a young, I'll say 5 or 6 year old daughter, Ella. And she is an actress, but her next role, they've got a little bit of a buffer between roles, I guess. And so they decide to take a little vacation, just the three of them, over to Wales. And once they get in the house, it's lovely, it's bright and spacious, lots of windows to appreciate those beautiful views. A button for every feature you can imagine, and several you can't, and then several more that we don't really know what they do, but
Lots of
it
light
is a
switches,
pretty, going on house. So at first they really love it, and then they kind of don't really love it, because everyone's feeling a little unsettled there, and they're having nightmares.
Yes, they are. All of them.
Yes, all of them are having nightmares. Some of them don't really feel like nightmares, and then even when they're awake, maybe those nightmares have followed them into the waking day, or maybe they're never really awake. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff. It is one of those horror movies. This is a trope. This is a specific genre of horror movie in which the house wants to kill you. Did you like it?
Not really.
Not really. Oh.
It was so slow, and the payoff to me wasn't worth it.
Okay.
And did you like it?
I didn't really like it. Here's the thing, I kind of liked the parts, I kind of liked the premise, I liked this family, but I guess, the payoff I think was minimal. I didn't mind the slowness, but I did mind, it was slow, and then there were, cheap jump scares, just to, get your heart racing.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. But I guess as the movie went along, things get weirder and weirder and weirder, but we don't really know what's causing all of this. And I guess we never really do. So I just felt like without a discernible,
but
well, more
true?
or less, I don't know about that. I just kind of felt like there's nothing really to fear. If it's hard to maintain the fear when it's so vague and ever changing. The house is always changing.
Absolutely, it is. And this movie, it tries to keep it tense. As you said, there's some jump scares. It's not a lot. This is not really a a scary movie.
No, that's what was kind of surprising, because you know me, I had to do some like Lamaze kind of breathing exercises even to, spend the money to rent this one. And it all was for nothing, really. I think you screamed more than I did.
Yeah, it did get me once.
Well, I think because you were helping the dogs out, so you were not prepared to get back into the movie.
Yeah, maybe.
And Bronx jumped too, so
Yeah.
I don't know if he was just reacting to you, but I felt like everything those jump scares were, like, I was prepared for them, I guess. So they're not, even though I felt they were kind of cheap and kind of cheating, they were also not particularly effective.
Well, I think the problem that I have with this movie and its jump scares, they didn't have anything to do with the plot of the movie.
That is so true. It's true. That's why they just feel so cheap. Like, they're like throwing them in because it's supposed to be, they want to bill it as a horror movie, but it's not that kind of horror movie.
No.
So, like, they're just kind of inventing reasons to throw it in. But it's like, I don't always need like a concrete thing to fear, because I think we just watched 7500, the hijacking movie. And I think it was interesting because both from the pilot's perspective and the hijacker's perspective, they both have this fear of the unknown that is really like playing with their emotions and how they're handling this very tense situation. And I thought that was really well done. So the fear of the unknown in that movie works. In this movie, it feels like you're missing an important piece. Like, I wanted there to be a monster. I wanted there to be a villain. And I kind of wanted to walk away with a better understanding of why all these crazy things are happening. And I feel like the movie just didn't really care that much how it wrapped up.
No.
It didn't really bother to justify itself.
No, but maybe because it couldn't, really.
Yeah.
That there wasn't this underlying explanation to be found. It was just some stuff that happened.
Yeah. I was disappointed in the Welsh grocer. Not only in his terrible customer service, but the villagers seem to know that this house is bad news.
Absolutely they did.
And yet they're just
they
letting
didn't
it be
interfere.
listed on
No.
Airbnb.
Yeah. They're just like, there comes another family. They're probably going to be dead
Don't get
in 48
attached.
hours.
Are you sure you need this much milk? Yeah, so I'm not, as a tourist brochure, yes and no. It's really beautiful, but you may never go back home.
Yeah, we're not going to stay there, we decided.
We did decide that. Well, actually, I have to say, Sean, like 2 seconds into them arriving, Sean's like, that's a murder house. And I thought it was funny just because, the killer house is kind of a genre. The haunted house, the whatever you want to call it, is, a whole subgenre of horror. But this is not how those houses usually look. They usually look older and almost derelict. Some, a lot of them are reno projects, a fixer-upper, let's say, cobwebby. They have abandoned 19th century children's toys in the attic.
That's right.
And this
dolls.
is like, a sleek, modern, minimalist kind of thing. But it did kind of put me in the mind of, I don't know if you've seen American Psycho, the Christian Bale one.
No, I haven't.
So he was that kind of fastidious serial killer who, everything had to be pristine. He was very fond of drop cloths. So it kind of did put me in that kind of a zone for it. So I was like, okay, let's see where this is going. I guess, the killer is not going to be some ghost girl in a pinafore.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So, we were both kind of disappointed with this one.
It's not worth the premium rental, that's for sure.
No, it's not. Poor movie. I can see why they elected to just drop it in a home premiere.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't really worth much more than that.
No. It's okay. It's watchable.
It's okay. I think
But-
I kind of enjoyed the family dynamic a little bit, and having this little girl sort of heightens the risk factor, because honestly, Kevin Bacon has led a good life. His character has maybe not led such a great life.
Seem not, no.
He's got a bit of a
He's
backstory,
got a
this
dark
guy.
side, yeah. A history.
Although we also find out that Amanda Seyfried has a bit of a backstory to her too. Nobody's going into this totally blameless, we'll say. Some worse than others, for sure. But yeah, so I'm not even sure I wanted them to escape necessarily. The little girl, sure, she was very cute. I liked her. It's a hard thing, I think, to be a kid in a horror movie.
Yeah, for sure, it must be.
But she did a very good job, and I did want to tell her to leave. But
yeah, she was on board with that.
yeah, she was. She knew that this was not a nice house. Everybody knew.
Everyone
the
knew.
villagers knew. The people, as soon as they were there, they were like, eh.
They should have left.
They should have left. That's right. Even the title tried to warn them. And I think even the title, I thought, oh, okay, maybe this is going to be a little bit of a wink-wink, self-referential kind of a movie. And then it wasn't.
It's not.
It wasn't, no. It's not smart or clever or anything like that. If anything, really, the script did feel undercooked. It felt a little it was pretty good dialogue, I thought. The family dynamic is the one thing I bought. But I just felt, in terms of a horror plot, what wants them dead, what is trying to kill them, and why. None of that really seemed to matter. So that's a weird thing, because it is a horror movie. Somebody should have thought of it.
Yes.
Well, we had no trouble sleeping after that one.
No.
No, none whatsoever. All right, you win some, you lose some. I watched a horror movie for nothing, but I didn't even need any of my usual tricks.
No, that's right.
Honestly.
No. Just breeze through it.
I did, yeah.
I guess mainly because you hate Kevin Bacon. That really must have.
I hate
I
Kevin
don't know.
Bacon.
Apparently, you're like, I'm okay if he dies.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, I won't be heartbroken. No offense, Kevin Bacon. I don't even know you. I'm just saying,
Yes, you are.
I'm not that attached.
Murder houses.
I think our house is pretty nice.
Yeah, our
Pretty
house is
friendly,
not a
eh?
murder house. It's
No.
very welcoming.
I mean, or is it it's not like a murder house, but it might be a slightly injurious house?
There's a It's not the house, though, that's injuring people. Our house is nice.
We fall down the stairs a lot.
Yeah, I put the blame on myself for my falls. I don't think the house was out to get me.
Are you trying to put the blame on myself for my faults?
No, that's probably my fault, too.
All right. Well, that's, I mean, the backyard is trying to kill you, though.
Yeah, I'm
He's full of
allergic to
faults.
all sorts of stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Fun
Benadryl
times.
is only doing so much.
That's right. So he had no trouble falling asleep last
No,
night.
that's right.
You might have slept in between Kevin Bacon moments.
Yeah,
And Sean loves bacon.
I love bacon. That's true.
It's his number one thing.
It is.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to the review. Let us know if you watched the movie, which is called...
You should have left Kevin Bacon. Not the Kevin Bacon part, but it's implied.
Yes. So it is available for a home premiere rental, which is at a premium price. So if you're really jonesing for a horror fix, I don't know. This is not the
Yeah, I
best
still
option.
think this is probably not the best option.
I sort of think you should watch The Shining. There were some hallway shots, when the perspective.
Yeah, that's a good.
That really kind of reminded me of that. So go watch The Shining. You will not be disappointed with
And
that
you can
one.
come back to this one when it's $5 and
Or no bucks.
or no bucks.
No bucks is
Yeah.
even better for this
That
one.
would,
I think.
well,
Yeah.
if it was no bucks, then sure, watch it. If it's $5, yeah, I guess it depends what else you're choosing against.
Yeah. We'll let you know. check
Yeah.
back with us in
I don't know,
6
like
to
a
8
couple
weeks.
months. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everyone.